They made 53 ZR1s between 70 and 72. So they made 25 in 1970, they made 8 in 1971, and they made 20 in 72. Out of the 871s, there's 4 known. We have a registry that we've had for some time, and this is the very first one that we know of that was produced for 1971, and so it's the first of the 8 and one of the 4.
So the ZR1 was not a model necessarily, right? Was an option?
It was an option, right.
Okay.
And basically, maybe a good way to look at it is the car is basically an L88, and it was kind of purpose-built for the racing, except it has the small block solid motor in it. But it had all the other suspension features, J56 brakes with Inconel brake pads that dissipate heat. It had the smaller bell housing with a smaller flywheel that was lightweight. They also used dual disc clutches, but then they all have the M22 Rock Crusher transmissions, and they were just purpose-built. You couldn't order a radio in them, and limited on the options that you can do. So this particular car is an unrestored car. It's original. It has its original paint, interior, carpeting, which there's very few unrestored ZR1s of the approximately 26 currently known cars.
Is that it?
Of the 53 that I'm aware of. So I mean, plus or minus a car or two, that's the number.
So how long have you owned the car for?
This one's I'm thinking around 7 or 8 years, somewhere in there.
What kind of heads do they have? Is it are they aluminum or?
No, they're cast iron heads. I believe they had the larger valves. I believe they're 2.02 larger intake valves on these.
Oh, that's an interesting shroud.
Yep. Well, they had aluminum radiators instead of the copper radiators.
Really?
So they had a different radiator than the regular LT ones.
Interesting.
So they had to make some changes in the core support area to accommodate that.
It's all original?
It's all original. Yep.
That's
so
incredible.
it's unrestored, but it shows its wear and a little patina for its age.
Exactly.
But they're the only original ones too. So.
Yeah. Beautiful. What is this paint called?
Ontario Orange.
Ontario Orange. Very sweet. So are you selling your whole collection?
No, this is some of it, and but I collect original unrestored cars, and I do judge for the National Corvette Restoration Society. I judge for Bloomington Gold and also the McCacken Corvette Show in Rosemont. So.
What is this?
Well, this is the very first ZR1 made. It's the pilot car. So, as the popularity of ZR1s still creates excitement. Yes, still creates excitement. This is the car that started it all.
So no radio, no AC.
No, could not order. They weren't available to order.
Is this restored or?
This one, this is it's the only car here that I have that's restored.
Okay. Because it looks new.
Yeah, it was completely restored, but back to the standard that it was delivered in.
Can we look under the hood?
Sure.
Oh wow.
So, and there's been a lot of sayings that ZR1 stands for Zorro Racing 1. I don't know how accurate or true that is, but that's it. But Zorro Duntov did sign this air cleaner, so.
Oh, that is cool. Wow. That is a nice touch.
No.
So this one, yeah.
So it's interesting. You see the numbers, and I guess by the time this ends up being shown, we'll know what they did. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yes, and this is what
Monza red.
Monza
Yeah.
red, yeah.
So it's kind of has a little bit of a orange tint to it. Sometimes when they look at it, think it is, but
this was restored correctly.
Yes.
Needless to say,
Yes,
right?
it has the original parts, and it's put back together as it was intended and built originally.
How long does it take to restore a car of this caliber?
It takes some time. I'm not involved in the process, but it takes a lot of hours, and sometimes depending on how much time somebody puts into it, how soon it can get done. But generally, they take longer periods of time.
This is so special. Very interesting interior.
It's dark brown, and it's kind of rare for 1970. So they did have two brown or medium saddle colors available, but I haven't seen very many of these
Especially
myself.
with the red.
Yep.
That is very, very interesting. Very cool.
So that's what I think makes the Pilot car kind of interesting, because it is
Right.
red, the dark brown interior and the white top kind of.
Is this part of your collection as well?
It is.
What is this? Oh, this is an 82.
So yeah, this is just a 1982, and it's the Corvette for that year. They didn't have any engine options available. This is the start of the Crossfire.
CD radio.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
This is
20,000 mile car, and
Okay.
it's a great car to drive. This year they added the overdrive transmissions.
Yep. The Crossfire.
Yep. It's the start of the Crossfire injection.
Yep. Most misunderstood engine, just like
Yeah.
water jets, I like to say.
Yeah.
It's
But this particular one runs really well, and drives good. So
looks good.
it's also original paint, not restored.
And this beauty here, Elkhart green, or is that a
Elkhart green. So this particular car was owned by Kenny Chevrolet, and Mr. Kenny started a collection. He wanted to have one of every year car, as far as the story goes. And this car he ordered new, and it sat in his collection till the early 90s.
Wow. May I?
Yeah. So this car has 3,600 miles.
How is that even possible?
Yeah. It's pretty close to being new. But they're great examples. This car has achieved all the awards, but it's the type of car that you need if you're restoring a car.
Good reference.
These are the cars that you need to have to look at
Yep.
as a reference.
So pretty. Oh, I see.
Yep. Johnstown, Ohio.
Nice touch. So it's basically a new car.
Yep, it's pretty darn close. I mean, those original tires that are on it,
Really?
from the factory. These aren't ones that we found and added. They were the ones that came with the car. So.
Oh my goodness.
And this particular car is a base motor car, but it's automatic and air conditioning, and it's just a really nice car to drive.
I'm sure.
It's been stored well, and again, it's all these cars are the types of cars you need if you have one and you want to restore it and use it as a reference.
Things like these
Hoses?
hoses, are these the original ones?
They are.
Wow.
Yeah, and this car they are. Yep.
Any other year but this would be
That is beautiful.
Yep.
So how many cars did you bring down?
We brought 8 down, so
Wow. 454.
yep.
What about this car? Is this
So-
this is original, right?
It's another original paint car, and I think it's probably one of the nicest war bonnet
So it is
yellow
the actual
paint cars.
Bonnet yellow. I mean,
This car is unrestored, and it's the original color also. So
automatic deluxe interior.
yep.
Now I see.
So the deluxe interior was the leather. It had a different carpet to it, and they added some wood grain touches to the door panels and the
Yep.
center
What's the
consoles.
mileage on this one?
17,000. Yeah. And
Let's open
plug it
the.
on.
Good thinking.
So
Look at that big block.
and it's just another car that's in its original state. And
Yeah, true
other
survivor.
other than minor maintenance, it's it's as it left the factory. So you can see on these engines, like this particular one, paints. Not all the paints on the valve covers. Back when the factory was doing these engines, they didn't put a lot of paint on them.
Yeah.
So
They were pretty stingy.
yeah.
Same thing with the body, actually.
Yep.
He says it's the original.
These are original tires and original exhaust on all of these cars.
And we have next.
Well, this is another 1970 convertible. So it's similar to the 01 Pilot car. It is Monza red, but this one has a 454 LS5 big block motor in it. And it has a black interior with a black convertible top, and it also has a very nice original top on it. So, and you can see some of the differences from 70 to 72. If you notice, the 72 we just looked at has painted valve covers.
Right.
And 70 was the last year that they put the flash chromed valve covers on the motor.
And again, this is untouched, basically.
Right. Yeah, other than maintenance, but it's
Wow. So anything like this little overspray, that is the way that.
yeah. They painted the car when they originally painted these cars. The paint went on, and then at the factory they did the blackout afterwards. So you can see the car was painted, and they did the blackout. When they moved this bracket over, the paint shows from the side because it's part of the process. I mean, there's lots of.
Take a quick look inside. Oh, and it's an automatic.
Yep. So, and it's the second car in a row that's an automatic, and I believe sometimes why some of these cars are really so nice and preserved is I think that people had automatics treated them a little different than when they had 4-speeds.
What are these called? The hubcaps?
These
Do
are
they have a
PO2 wheel covers is
What are
the
they called?
they call them the PO2 wheel covers. That's the code, the option code for them. And some people like them and some people don't, but I like them, but I like them with white walls, and that's how this car was built. It's not.
Yeah, I think they try to emulate something like this with the collector's edition.
Yeah, you're right. That's This car also has all the awards. So.
And this is.
So we're kind of going down in years. So as we started the 70s, we were working our way down. This is a 69 car, and it's also now it's a 427 big block. Has the same horsepower as the 454 next to it that we just looked at. They're both 390 horsepower. But this is a particular car is a 6,000 mile 427 Roadster with side pipes, which side pipes were limited and rare.
Yeah.
Not necessarily real rare, but
They look so
there weren't
good.
a lot of them.
I don't know why they did away with that, but they look perfect. Oh boy. What's the mileage again?
This one has 6,750 miles on it. So, and I know the history on this car, and I actually have a friend of mine that knew the car when the original owner purchased it new, so it was nice when it came available. He knew the history of it. It's another car with the PO2 wheel covers also. So. So this is also the original convertible top that came with it from the factory, and these are the right. And this is the original tires that came on the car when it was new too. Yeah.
And so called that the plastic.
Right. Vinyl rear window, but yeah, that is the top that came on the car. There's some telltale signs, the stitching, and the way that it was put together and materials that were used. It's easily identifiable.
And this is what's the name of the paint?
Riverside Gold.
Riverside.
So this is Riverside Gold.
And this is what? Fathom or?
No, this is British Racing Green.
Really?
And 68.
They actually called it British.
Yeah. And back in the 60s, the greens were really popular. Not everybody likes them today, but we did sell a lot of them. This particular one is 68 427 435 horse L71 car. And it's a convertible. It has the original white top.
So this was an option that it came with it.
Yeah, as a hard top is an option.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
My favorite look when it comes to the convertible.
And 68s are really unique. There's, the year is very specific to a lot of the components. I mean, the interiors, the steering wheels, dash components, door panels, seats. There's changes throughout the years, but they're specific to 68 that they didn't.
No map.
They didn't carry it in the 69 that has the key in the dash instead of
Right. Yeah, that was my first Corvette in 1968 with the 327s.
So when you had the push button thumb.
Yep.
And also the 68 had 7-inch wheels instead of 8-inch.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Can we look under that?
Sure.
There's something about the big blocks.
Yeah, the big blocks with extra coverage.
You have the tri-power.
Yes.
And again, this is unrestored?
Unrestored. All these cars except for the pilot car that we looked at are all original cars. And they've been used in all of our judging reference manuals, and a lot of data has been collected from these cars, and they're the types of cars, again, that, if you have one and you want to restore it, these are the types of cars you need to look at.
Right.
So you can see the gap in the trim ring between that and the rim is very small, and if you look at the other one, they had the inch, and that's where you can identify it when you visually look at it.
Yeah, no Stingray.
No
badging.
Stingray. Yep.
Even though they used the word Stingray on the brochures.
Yep.
So that was very interesting. Yeah, with the little door pull, and also
the earlier ones didn't have the pulls.
Right. Big steering wheel too.
Yep.
Yeah, I like this slanted window. It looks so good.
Yeah, the hardtop on a convertible I'm a fan of. So.
Yep. And last but not least, this is your new.
Yeah, this one here is the. No.
That is not yours, is it?
It is not.
Okay.
It is not. No.
Well, Jim, it's been a pleasure.
Same here.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. It's been nice talking with you.